Welcome back, guys. Today we will be building a clock using Tkinter. So to start off, let's import in Tkinter as TK, and then for the clock or the timepiece of our clock, let's import in the time module and import in from the time module strf time. So what this function does is it converts the time objects into a string which we can use. So let's see what that looks like. So let's do string equals strf time, and then let's add in the normal time. So let's do it's going to be %i, and then %m for minutes, and then %s for seconds, and then %p for AM or PM. So now if I was to print this, you would get the time 10:27:47 seconds PM where I'm located. So let's start off by building out our actual clock. So I'm going to put it in a clock or a function called clock, and let's start out by initiating our main window. So main window equals tk.tk, and then I'm going to give it a title. Main win.title is going to be equal to clock. And then let's set the size of our window. So let's do main win.minSize is equal to 335 by 50. And let's just see what this looks like without anything in it. So let's run this. And, oh, it's on my other screen. Let me bring it over. So here we go. We got our Tkinter window for our clock. All right. So now let's start in by adding some color. Let's do mainWin.configure, and background color will be equal to, let's set it to blue, and let's add in our label. And the label is going to be what actually changes every second as the time goes on. So let's do time label is equal to tk.label, and this is going to be inside our main window. And let's set the font equal to Helvetica and 40, and let's make it look as if it's bold. And we can set the foreground, which is the actual letters that are going to be part of the text. Let's leave that as white. And for now, let's just enter in a text is equal to test. We're going to replace this later on in the program with the actual time that it is. After that's built, let's do time label.place, and let's place it at 15 and 75. I have the coordinates already built out. Usually you got to play around with it to figure out where it's going to go, but to save time, kind of built this out in advance. Okay, so let's run it and see what it looks like. So this is what our window looks like. It's blue, and then it's got white over there. Let's also add in some background. Background is equal to blue. Let's make it the same color. Let's close this out and rerun the program. And now we can actually see it. So you can see we got our test there. So pretty straightforward. We've got a window, and then we have some text over here. So now let's build out another function. Let's close this one out. Let's build out another function which is going to be used for the actual time. So let's do define time change, and we're going to set the value of the time. So let's create a variable, and it's going to be the same string time function we used up here. So let's just copy paste that. All right, got that. Now, we're going to be using this label over here. So in order to use it, let's just call it a global variable. So let's do global time label. So this way we can access that variable inside the other function that we're writing right now. So let's do time label dot config, and we're going to set the text inside this label. So we're going to get rid of the text here, and we're going to set it inside of our function now. So we removed the text that was here that said test, and now we're going to add in this is equal to time val, and let's do background. We don't need to set up background yet because it's already going to take the default that's over here. Then the last piece that we're going to add is time label dot after, and we're going to say run this code in this function every 1,000 milliseconds, and we're going to do for this function. So we have that built. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our time change function to the bottom here. So basically this loop is going to continue running, and that way it's going to update the label that we have over here. So let's run the program and see what it looks like. So let me bring this over to the screen, and there we go. We got our time, and you can see that it's going up every second, and that's the time right now. So that's pretty straightforward on how to make a clock. But let's add in a couple other features. What if we wanted to say every 30 seconds we want the background color to change? We can definitely do that. So let's build that out. So the first thing we'd want to do is we would need to be able to access our main window, which, because of the fact that we're setting the color there to blue. So let's make that a global variable as well. So let's do global main window, and now we can comment that out, and let's go down here. So we want basically, let's say that so the first 30 seconds, let's make it one color, and then the last 30 seconds of the minute, let's make it a second color. So we're going to need to use the seconds from our time module here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this a variable. Seconds is equal to integer, because when we used this function, it converted it to a string. So integer is equal to string function time, and we're only interested in the seconds for this one. Let's put our quotation marks around it. So, okay. So we got our variable seconds, and we're going to say if seconds is less than 30, then let's do mainWin.configure. So the main window we're going to set to blue, and we'll do time label dot config, and we're going to do text is equal to time val, and background color is equal to blue. So it matches. So we can get rid of the background color from here as well. All right, so if seconds is less than 30, then we're going to use blue on here, and if it's not, we'll use the else statement, and let's just copy this and just change the colors. Else, we want this to be, let's say, red. Let's update this to red as well, and we can get rid of this one because we've already accounted for it, and we'll leave this one in place because we want it to run every 1,000 milliseconds. So now, if we run this, let's see if we get any errors. Nope, we did not. Let me bring this over. So right now it's more than 30 seconds, so it's red right now. So once it reaches 10 10:37, we would expect it to switch over to blue. So let's just give it five seconds, and we should be able to see the color change. There you go. It changed colors. So this was a very quick overview of how to use Tkinter to make a clock. You can obviously add so many other features to this. I encourage you guys to go in and play around with it. I hope you guys found this video useful and helpful. If you did, please like and comment and subscribe. And as always, keep on coding.